You're watching Bizworld. I'm Anita Wu. Japanese firms, including East Japan Railway Company, have opted out of participating in the Kuala Lumpur-Singapore high-speed rail project ahead of the deadline for the request of information. Citing government and company sources, Kyodo News reported these firms had intended to use the Shinkansen bullet train system in Japan for the project. They, however, decided that it would be too risky to do so without financial help from the Malaysian government. This is expected to leave the door open for Chinese businesses, which built a high-speed railway in Indonesia and are now constructing another in Thailand to secure the project. The deadline for the RFI for the KL Singapore HSR project, which has been running since July 2023, is next Monday. MyAirline will not be granted an air service license, ASL, until it fulfills all customer refunds and addresses obligations to former staff following its closure last year. Transport Minister Loke was expected to meet with MyAirline and the Malaysian Aviation Commission today to discuss the airline's potential revival proposal and its current status. This comes after a news reported that MyAirline Sdn Bhd had secured and signed a sale and purchase agreement in late December 2023 with an investor from the Middle East. It was also reported that the airline has applied for a conditional ASL from the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, with plans to recommence operations by mid-year. MyAirline announced the suspension of its flight operations starting October 12 last year, citing financial pressures just under a year into its operations. It has also agreed to refund some 22 million ringgit to the affected 125,000 customers and over 900 employees once it secures new funding. The unit price index of steel increased between 0.2 and 1.8% for almost all areas in December last year compared to the previous month. Chief Statistician Datuk Seri Muhammad Uzair Mahidin said that a month-on-month comparison of selected construction materials and areas showed the unit price index remained unchanged. He stated that the highest increase in the unit price of steel was in Perak and Johor, whereas Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, Malacca and Negeri Sembilan increased by the same percentage. According to DOSM, the monthly comparison of December last year and December 2022 also recorded an increase between 2.8% and 18.9% for all areas in Malaysia. Malaysia's manufacturing sector is poised for a gradual uptick in the coming months after a period of subdued performance. Hong Leong Investment Bank predicts a positive shift due to an anticipated upswing in trade activities and semiconductor demand. The bank said global factory activities remained lackluster, with December's Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index still in contraction territory. Amid a persistent decline in new orders, producers are depending on back orders to prevent a steeper decrease in output. Meanwhile, Public Investment Bank foresees continued positive growth in the Industrial Production Index during the fourth quarter of 2023. This despite a global demand downturn compared to the same period last year, primarily attributed to a base effect. The Bursa Malaysia ends the week higher today on buying activities in selected heavyweights. At 5 p.m, the FBM KLCI closed higher by 4.34 points to 1,487.34 points. Gainers outnumbered losers with 492 against 486 counters, while 445 counters traded unchanged. According to Bank Muamalat, regional bourses saw a mixed trading performance following the higher-than-expected US CPI last night. That's all the time we have for Bizworld today. I'm Anita Wu. Keep tuning into TV Tiga. Have a good weekend.